Stay with me, because, you know, we went through a little period during that negotiation, right? It was a little nasty out there with China. You know, China is a seriously good negotiator. They're tough and smart, and they have tremendous, it's amazing. Their energy is tremendous. They want to make these deals where they destroy you. But I said, just hang in, and the farmers did. And I had about 30 farmers in the White House. It was incredible. And I said to them, many groups, manufacturers, but this case was farmers. I said to them, you know, I'm going to get you so much subsidy from other countries, and you're going to have subsidy, you're going to have everything that you always wanted. And I was interrupted almost simultaneously by 5 farmers. Sir, we don't want subsidy. We just want a level playing field. That's all we have. That's the only group that ever said that. The other people, they'll take all the subsidy you can get them. They didn't want it. They just want... These guys were amazing. This was in the middle of this problem we had with China. I had to turn it off with China, but they said, we don't want subsidies, sir. We want a level playing field, because nobody can beat us with a level playing field. I got them much more than a level playing field. And, you know, you had one of the greatest deals ever made. China, $50 billion. Remember I used to say, don't worry, it's going to work out good. I knew where we were going, exactly, but it took a little time. You had to be a little bit tough, to put it mildly, tough. I said, don't worry, go out and buy larger land, get more land, and get bigger tractors. You remember? I said, go out, just right now, you can bank on it, go out and get more land and bigger tractors. And I turned out to be right. I turned out to be right. And I'll tell you what, the Biden administration is running on our fumes. That's all they're running on. They don't have anything. They're doing everything wrong. They're running on our fumes. I then got the $28 billion straight out of the tariffs that I took from China. I took hundreds of billions of dollars in from China. No other president got 10 cents from China. You can look all the way back. No president got 10 cents. They said, we're a developing nation. Brilliant people, brilliant negotiators. No, we are a developing nation. Well, we're a developing nation, too. Look at our cities. They're falling apart, our Democrat-run cities. We're a developing nation, too. But I got hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs from China, and it brought them to the table. And because of that, I was able to get the farmers $28 billion. That's why, you know, I get a lot of heat sometimes. Some of my people, and they're great, they're good people, they mean well. They say, sir, please don't take it for granted that you're going to win Iowa. I said, what do you mean? I got the farmers $28 billion. Of course I'm going to win Iowa. Remember, I came in last time. They said, sir, you sound very conceited. You're saying you're going to win. I said, how the hell can they vote against me? I got them $28 billion. They're going to vote. Do you think Joe Biden's going to get you $28 billion? Any extra money that he gets comes to him and his family. It doesn't come to Iowa. That's been proven, hasn't it? You see, they just found him $5 billion went to him. Remember during the debate, I said to Joe Biden, I said, how come the mayor of Moscow's wife paid you $3.5 million? And Chris Wallace, how's he doing, by the way? Chris Wallace was the moderator. You shouldn't be allowed to ask that question. I said, well, it's true. The mayor of Moscow's wife paid this family $3.5 million. Why did they get it? What did they do that was worth $3.5 million? They weren't able to explain it. Now it's turned out to be a big case. I was right. Chris Wallace, it was like fighting 2 people. Of course, it was really like fighting 1 person. That was a beauty. But now it's turned out to be a very big, really big subject. He got $3.5 million from Moscow, and nobody knows why, and they can't justify it. What did you do for the 3.5? At least say you did something. There's nothing. They didn't do anything. You know what they did. It's called laundering. Just as I promised, I also fought for Iowa ethanol, issuing a historic rule declaring the E15 would be made available all year round, and also letting them use existing pumps. It doesn't sound like much, not very glamorous for a speech, show that you're allowed to use, but that was millions, tens of millions of dollars. They had great pumps, actually better than the new ones, and they wanted to know if they could use them, and they weren't allowed to use them under the legislation, and I gave them the right to use the existing pumps. They were actually just as good or better, and they saved hundreds of millions of dollars. But I was able to do that for the farmers and for the state.